Good evening, everybody. Our respected chair, co-chair, and distinguished members on the panel. The former speaker has covered a large ground on e-governance. So I will take a little different viewpoint to add a little variety to the discussions. In the ad world, it's often said, when you think of color, you think of Jensen and Nicholson. Well, I'm not a representative of Jensen and Nicholson, but I would like to use that quote. When you think of IT, you think of India. Well, that's the sort of situation that prevails today. And while it is very heartening that when you think of IT, you think of India, it's also disheartening. I'm saying that it's heartening because India is recognized as an IT power in the software area. But it's disheartening because all of IT has been for the benefit of our clients outside of the country. What about IT penetration within? I think that's something which is a wake-up call, not just for the government, but for industry, academia, and citizens as well. What is the government of India doing? Must be the question, because all of you would be saying you represent the Department of IT, so when you are saying disheartening, there must be something you are doing here to allay the situation. Yes, and that's what I would like to spell out. I would not like to dwell on e-governance because quite a bit has been covered in some of the previous sessions, but I would like to cover on some of the aspects like national knowledge network, human resource development, and internet governance, so that will add a little flavor to the discussions. The National Knowledge Network is a scheme of the government to interconnect institutions of higher learning and research across the country. And it's a high-speed bandwidth, it's a gigabit bandwidth. And 1,500 plus universities and research institutions of defense, space, atomic energy, all of them would be interlinked. It's the network which is going to bring about a democratization of education. While the network is a high-speed bandwidth network, it also tries to interlink about 20,000 colleges, and on it an overlay of educational content through another program called the National Mission on Education through ICT. So the National Knowledge Network forms the e-infrastructure, and the superstructure on it will be the National Mission on Education through ICT with the e-content. So these two would take e-content to the far-flung areas, and that's where the democratization of education will be there. We have the IITs which are of world class, but we have a number of institutions where there is a paucity of faculty, and also the students of that tier 2, tier 3 institutions sort of suffer on account of these handicaps of the paucity of faculty and also the faculty not being of good quality. The option to sort of democratize is the National Knowledge Network and the National Mission on Education through ICT. The second aspect, the demographic profile of India, 50% of our population is young, less than 25 years. Now this is both a challenge and an opportunity. A challenge in the sense how to see that their creative forces are unleashed and they are made productive. And an opportunity to see how we can become a world, what I would say, skilled force in IT, so that we can continue to build upon the leadership position on the IT front. In this genre, the National Skill Development Initiative of the Honorable Prime Minister is to skill about 500 million Indians by 2022. The Department of IT has a focus that 10 million Indians should be skilled in IT on the higher end, so that we have adequate manpower in the various domains of IT that are emerging, whether it's hardware, software, network administration, and the like. And cyber security is going to be a very important feature because the aspects of growth of devices is there. When we talk about devices, It's the mobile which has been the harbinger of change in India. 800 million plus is what is the latest TRI report. And this is the device that is going to be the access point for most of us in the rural areas. The laptops and the desktops are not easily available. So that is why the Common Service Center, the public access points are being built in the form of a public-private partnership, 1 per 6 villages, and maybe it will be enhanced further to have about 2.5 lakhs or 250,000 across the length and breadth of the country. They will offer the citizen services in the form of the Common Service Center, and which is what Mr. Ravishanker had alluded to in the e-governance Common Service Center of Gujarat. Mobile platform becomes the most important device in the hands of 800 million, and it will be the mobile internet which will be the order of things. So while it is the mobile internet, we'll have to see the value-added services that can actually levitate people so that they can actually see that this particular device becomes the transformational tool. So ICT, when we are looking at it, we are trying to see the device which is available to the common man. The 3G auctions plus now the availability of 3G enabled or compliant devices and the tariffs thereof plus the value-added service would really be the harbinger of change, just the way the 2G services in the form of voice and the tariff, etc., brought about the revolution in the 800 million. So I think that is a scenario which is supposed to be a factor in the growth. And it's also going to be a device in which the e-inclusion through the financial services or financial inclusion could come about, because a large segment of the country is unbanked. So the unbanked population could get into the banking arena. And coming lastly to the internet governance, so we come to the format where internet for all is the cornerstone of the Indian theology, and we have to see that the broadband goes to villages. Internet governance becomes very important to see that the front end and the back end are secure. Thank you very much, and I do wish to thank the chair for giving me an extra half a minute. Thank you.